know, just come watch the show. To know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's tailored to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's tailored to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. To be in the know, just come watch the show. To know what to do, just jump in the
Oh,
queue.
y'all,
It's tailored to
excuse
you.
me, because you know how much I hate to interrupt your scroll. So let me hurry up and get through this, because you can go back to do what you gotta do, and I can go back to doing what I gotta do. And I made an illustration just to make it easier for everybody. All right, this is me, and this is you. Okay, and this could be a family, friend, co-worker, alone in the world with a little cat dog. I don't care who it is, to whom it may concern. However, when we get together, it is now us. You know what always gets me is when we first start out, it's always cool, calm, and collected. I like it that way. But somewhere along the lines, you realize, this is you once again, realizing that you like to play games. Okay? You have become so fascinated with playing games that now all of a sudden you think that you could play with me. Here's you thinking that you can play with me. That's crazy. It's honestly crazy, but obviously you like to live on the edge, okay? Now, you realize that you found a new love for these games, that you want to incorporate them in your everyday lifestyle. You are dedicated to the process. You are even willing to bet it all. Now, here's this person who knows what I know, and they know that you are in a great deal of trouble, okay? What a dummy is what you call it, because to bet all of that and to only be left with my ass to kiss is diabolical. It's honestly insane if you ask me. All right now, all right, because the thing is this. Let me break it down for anybody who may be a little confused in translation. Here you are with the right idea, but the wrong bitch. Okay? It's very simple. It's extremely simple, okay? Right idea, once again, wrong bitch. Yeah. So now that I have gotten wind of what you think is about to take place, I am pointing you in the direction of where maybe someone would like to play games, okay? Which is all the way over there, okay? Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Okay, I want you to go further, and further, and further away. You're so excited to continue on with these games that you're like, how much further do I have to go? You are so busy making your way downtown, walking fast, okay? You want to get there, you're excited. And even through all of this, even through it all, I'm still being a good Samaritan, a team player, if you will. I grab my magnifying glass because I am determined to help you find you something safe to do. All right, y'all. Well, look, share with those who need to know. Have a good one.
Well, hello there. How are you all doing? I came on to give my Tabitha Brown impression. Hello there. Y'all all right? Y'all all right? I'm checking to see if y'all are all right. Because I have been observing some things that is very disturbing to me. Let me see who's in the room, because I'm even surprised that I have 16 people in the room. So let me get to speaking. Hey Jody, how you doing? Enrique, hello, how are you? Hey Jim C, hello, how you doing, Jim? Hey Winky Wonder, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hey Justin, how you doing? Thank you, Justin. 8 minutes left. Okay. Grateful one. Hey, how are you? Wanda Smith, how you doing? Kenneth Dawkins, hey, how you doing? Deb, hey, how you doing? Listen, I am coming to check in. Y'all all right? Y'all okay? Yeah, I mean, how y'all doing? Today is my birthday. It's been a rather peaceful day, great day for me. Um, got up this morning. I wanted to sleep in so bad, but I had things to do. Strange, pretty things. How are you? Okay. You all right now, Kenneth? Okay, good. I'm checking. Hey, Miss Prima Donna, how you doing? Thank you so much. You thought you were going to check in with just a few, and we are coming out to see. Yes, child. I thought, I'm not, maybe I won't get anybody, but I'm gonna set this right here because I I'm observing some crazy things, some some disturbing things for me. So um, you know, here I come to do a mental health check-in because um yeah, I'm seeing a lot transpire uh out here in these not YouTube streets tonight, but these Facebook streets uh pretty much all day uh today. Um yeah. Uh y'all sure y'all all right? Every year when my birthday comes, it's kind of like bittersweet for me. Of course, my oldest is her birthday is the day before mine, so I spend a day before my birthday, in activities, and this happens to be my oldest's 18th birthday. So it was particularly self-reflecting for me. You know, having a whole entire human that I birthed into this world now be what the world considers an adult um, is particularly stressing for me because this world is not what it was when I was growing up. It's not, I would say, as safe as it is when I was growing up. Um, people are not as nice. Um, and I wouldn't say they were like overly nice when I was growing up, but there was no intent to harm, as much as there is now. Hey Tina P, how you doing? You said we can one to do tell what you seeing. I'm gonna tell what I'm seeing in a few minutes. Um, Tracy K, thank you. Saint Sinner, thank you. How you doing? Thank you for showing up. So, I've just been reflecting on, you know, things I haven't taught my children, right? Because now I have one that isn't considered an adult by the world. And I'm just trying to think of the things that I haven't taught my children. My children are very sheltered. Um, they're very like untouched by a lot of hatred because I do not teach hatred in my home. So today, matter of fact, uh, as some of you saw on the post earlier, we spent the afternoon, part of the afternoon, at the firehouse with the firefighters, dropping off all of the packages. By the way, thank you to everyone who sent things for the firefighters. Um, if you didn't see the pictures, go to the post on my YouTube page, and you will be able to see the pictures of the firefighters there that were there at the firehouse today unboxing uh, all of the gifts that you guys sent. They were so happy. Oh my gosh. They talked about, when it gets warmer, being able to be outside and playing cards maybe with some of the residents. And I spent probably like 2 hours at the firehouse before they got a call. They actually got a call while we were there and had to leave. Um, but we were there. My kids played catch with the firefighters with one of the gifts that you all sent. Um, they played Jenga. They played, and then we, talked or whatever. We had laughed and talked, and I got a tour of the firehouse. All of these things, they're hoping uh, that the residents come and do. They're hoping that the residents come and partake in some of these games and play games with them while they wait for calls. Um, give them a tour of the firehouse. Um, and just begin to, you know, start making human connection with the people that are working so diligently to save their lives if something happens, God forbid. Um, so that, today was great. I love the firefighters. They're all special to me in different ways. Um, and I'll have to introduce them to you all one by one. Today we were with Ed, Fonz, and Lieutenant Brim, and Adam, of course. And so I will have to start introducing them all to you guys one by one so that you can all get to know their names and connect the names with the faces so who is who when you see them. Um, I'm so glad you and your kids have been able to love and support. Yeah, oh man, um, Winky Wonder, that goes both ways, right? So my children's father passed away 2 years ago. So today, right, the firefighters were able to teach my children how to play catch, right? With this game that you all purchased with for them, right? And it was very exciting for me because for one, I'm not a dad, right? I'm not a man. And my kids are lacking that male presence on a daily basis in their life. My brother comes to visit, for weeks, a few weeks at a time. And so he's able to do things with my son and with my children, but it's not constant because my brother does not live here, right? So my purpose for volunteering with the firefighters is twofold. You know, one, to give the firefighters some support, but on the other hand, so that my children can be mentored by the firefighters, right? So Ed was able to teach my children uh, probably like the basics of baseball, right? They were out there playing catch, and which was my favorite game. I don't know who bought it, but thank you because that's like my favorite one. And so he was able to teach them like the basics of baseball, which was exciting to them because they've not had anybody to be able to take the time to do that. So they were in love with Ed. Right. But of course, they were like, Adam, we love you the most, but we love Ed too. So um that ended up being like a wonderful experience. And I don't capture everything on video or, through pictures because you're so busy living your life, right? Enjoying it, right? So I'm just sitting there not even thinking, I'm just enjoying the firefighters having fun because they're like big kids playing, and my kids being able to interact and engage with people that they can trust, right? People of the community that they can trust, right? And so that was like a great experience today. Um, that's right, Jody. That visit was a birthday gift. Yeah, it definitely was today. Um, and I was so grateful for it. And I'm grateful that um, the firefighters opened up the firehouse for us to be able to come as well and welcomed us in and um, everything. And it was so great, right? So the next thing that I plan to do at the firehouse is to cook the fire a meal, dinner for the firefighters, right? So that's the next thing that I plan on doing, which my kids will help with that. We will feed the firefighters for a shift. So, it's something that I would like to try to do at least once a week to give the firefighters a break because they cook for themselves every day. breakfast and dinner. They kind of like, I guess, get their own lunch if they get hungry or something. But they make sure they do dedicated that they cook breakfast and dinner. And so once a week, I would love to be able to go and cook a meal, a great meal for them, and they're open to it. And I love that. I love that they were like, oh, yeah, just call the commander the night before and tell him you're going to be making dinner. And so we'll just get breakfast and, there you go. And I'm like, oh, wow, that easy? Okay, cool. Right. Um, and then it gives me the ability to do something that I love, which is cook. Right. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you know this for certain that I love to cook because during the week, that's all I do is cook. Um, and so, and my kids, they're like very picky. So it will give me the ability to try out new recipes on the firefighters without having to worry about what I'm making, right? Great. Hey, Dave Bryson, it's Sunday at 6 p.m. Oh my God, it's late. Dave Bryson, I love this. Diane Reeves, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh no, Jody, I'm not the blessing. The blessing is be able to uh, create an atmosphere of community, right, for my children, right, because they no longer have a male presence. Thank you, Dave Bryson. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, thank you, Tracy K. Um, they no longer have that male figure in their life every day. Um, and it's something that is needed and that is missed, right? Because single moms, we can only be one portion uh of the parenting. We can be the mom portion, right? Um, and my kids, because their father passed away. Jody, you are so funny. Hey, butterfly girl. Um, we're missing the male portion. So, this was incredible, to be able to, hey, Ohio girl, thank you. This was incredible to be able to, you know, become a part of. But the experience today, and the firefighters are so giving, right? Hence the reason why they're firefighters, right? Because they're selfless people. And boy, are they selfless people, right? They are giving of their time, well, really sacrificing their lives in some ways, because when they go out on these calls, they never know what they're going to encounter or what is going to happen, right? And they have families and they have wives and they have children, but they are willing to sacrifice their lives for people they don't even know, right? So when we came to the firehouse, they just welcomed us in. Well, welcome my kids. They had already met one of my children, but the other two, they were just meeting, but they just kind of like, hey, and just like, hey, you want to play catch? You want to play this? You want to do that? Hey, let's take a tour of the firehouse. Let's look, come over here and look at the engine, the fire engine. Let me show you all this. I mean, they were showing them everything, right? And so, yes, Dave Bryson, this part, right? But when you start looking at what they actually do, right? For me, it's really more than a superhero. It's more than a hero, right? I'm thinking I don't know too many people that would sacrifice their life for me and they don't know me, right? Um, and so getting to know them has been very great uh, in understanding, why they do what they do, and seeing that it's really something that they were born to do. Just watching them interact with my children, um, and interact, with me. Um, I'm lurking palliative care for family, but I assume you and the firefighters just collaborated for something grand filled with grace. That part finding good. I love that. That is true. Mm-hmm. SP, what goes around comes around. Send out positive vibes and you get them in return. That is the hope, right? That is the hope. Which is hey, Bella Marie, which is a great segue, Tracy K, into my the reason why I popped on, right? Because I said, when I came on, I said, y'all all right? Hello there. Are y'all all right? Because I am looking on Facebook, in these groups, and people are literally going at each other. And I am sitting here thinking, I mean, you got certain people saying, well, you don't live here and, your opinion doesn't matter. And you got other people saying, okay, well, I do live here and, well, he this and he that. I mean, just throwing out stuff that you might not know is true that, you know, you might think is true because that's your perception, but it may not actually be the truth, right? Thank you, Bella Marie. Okay. Um, and so, you know, I said that to say some way, shape, or form, right? We are all in a community, right? Whether you live in the state of Illinois where I live, or you live in New Zealand, whether you live uh, in England, Australia, wherever you live, right? We are all cohabitating on this planet together, right? And in order to make this place livable, we need to be considerate of each other, right? It don't matter, where we live. Um, and I'm gonna get ready to say something that some people might not like. I mean, you can log off and that's okay. Um, what somebody else eat don't make me shit. Okay. Just because somebody say something doesn't make it true, and it doesn't make me have to respond to what they're saying. Okay, we need to start thinking, do I really need to respond to this? And if I respond to this, how do I need to respond to this? Okay, do I need to respond to this in my feelings, right? Or do I need to respond to this in a manner that dictates it's okay for you to think different than I do? That is perfectly okay, right? And I'm not going to implode or disappear off this earth if we don't agree, right? Nothing that I can see that you all are talking about is that important to be going at each other the way that some of you are going at each other, right? Because this election time is going to be over, right? And then what? Then you might need your neighbor that you just called a whole bunch of names, right? Something might happen and you might end up needing your neighbor, right? And I think that we need to start thinking, right? Is this that important, right? That I need to be acted in this manner, right? I again, hello there. Y'all all right? Because some of this stuff getting out of hand. Okay. Let me go back and read this comment. I've been concerned about coming together for justice has been an outlet for some angry people. Remember that Tracy K, would you like to come to the front of the class and make your statement? Because that last part is the part that I'm most concerned about. Remember that we're all human, right? Okay. Who are they to share? We need to encourage the good and not tolerate the bad. Finding good. If they listening to this, which I know they are, they know who they are. Yes, this part, Dave Bryson, we may not all agree, right? But that does not stop us from coming together and completing tasks. It does not stop us from thinking about the greater good, not just our personal good, right? The greater good is the goal, right? Because if I make sure that the greater good takes place, it's going to spill over to my personal good, right? Right. Thank you, Lady Luck Club. I appreciate that. I agree. Nice is nice no matter what's happening. Okay, because we don't need to be nasty. Okay. Find the good. This is the place that I live in. This is the place that I live in, right? Responding with thoughtfulness spreads thoughtfulness. Reacting isn't responding. This is the place that I live, right? Because I'm going to be thoughtful and mindful about what I say, right? I might read something. You don't know how many times I've read something that I've typed, right? And deleted the whole entire thing. Because once I read it, I was like, oh no, that's not right at all. Child, they're going to take that all the wrong way. And maybe I didn't write that right. I think I wrote that out of my feelings. Lady Luck, let's go. Let's get these judges on blast because they don't need to be reelected. As you can see out here, they cause big problems. Okay? Everybody has the right to their opinions, but don't have the right to be that part. We all have a right to be here. We all have a right and a stake to our opinions, right? The thing we need to do is start listening and understanding and not listening to respond. There's a lot of listening to respond and not listening to understand. Yeah. Okay. Bella, you didn't miss anything. Okay, you didn't miss one thing. Okay, you didn't miss anything. Okay. You stay right where you at because that's where you belong. You didn't miss anything. Okay. I hope this message hits who it needs to hit because we don't need to be fighting or calling out or any of those things. We don't need to be doing any of those things. If you have concerns, then voice your concerns, right? Because you have a right to do that, right? But what you don't have a right to do is project your concerns on someone else. I'm gonna tell you something else my grandma used to tell me. We gonna eat the chicken and leave the bones. Right? Yeah. If it applied to me and it's gonna further my life, elevate me, I'm gonna eat it. If it's not, I'm gonna leave it. Mm-hmm. Bella, you don't need to know. It's fine. You good. I think deleting is the smartest thing to do. You feel good. You got your feelings out, but you didn't hurt anyone's feelings. Deleting shows maturity. And the wink and wonder. I'm trying to lead with what I want to see, right? If we keep saying, oh, we got to be the change we want to see. Oh, we got to be the change we want to see. Well, yeah, every time. Not when it suits us. Every time. Okay? Some people be like, oh, I'm gonna get them a piece of my mind. Oh no, you better keep the piece of your mind that you got, because you see what's going on with this White House stuff. We all gonna need every piece of our mind to keep it together and to make sure that we make it through this next 4 years, because this is where we are. Right? We can't be like, well, I thought it was gonna be this. Well, this not. So okay. All of this fine and good. Hey there, this AM to everyone. Hey, Sage Mo, how are you? Welcome. We've all had our share of opinions, and it is okay to have our own, right? Just be mindful. That's right. Hey, Mr. Troy in Texas, how are you doing, sir? Y'all got a lot going on in Texas there. Just getting home. Everything okay? Yes, Mr. Troy, everything is okay. I came to check in. I finished up my birthday festivities, and I was sitting here reflecting on this last year of my life, being thankful, grateful, saying my prayers and thanking God, for allowing me to see another year. Thanking God that my mom, I've seen many miracles this year just in my own life with my mother. And some people don't have their parents or their mom or their dad. And I'm just grateful that I still have my mom. And so I'm reflecting, right? And I've been monitoring Facebook all day and other platforms, but Facebook really seemed to disturb me. Lady, look, I'm going to put this link down in this. You want to come up? Yeah, Saint Sinner. It's give him the mama finger. I'm gonna give it to him because y'all stop it. Y'all need to stop this. Y'all need to stop. I keep seeing these posts out here about. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Okay, Lady Luck, this link is for you. I'm gonna put it in the chat. You hit it when you're ready. Okay. I have seen posts out there saying, oh, this person is not talking to the public. This person is not doing it. Well, what if that person is busy? I mean, not all the time a person can just appear like I Dream of Jeannie when you want them to, right? I mean, today I wish I could have been 10 places at once. There was a lot of things going on that would not have like been a birthday celebration, but I wanted to participate, but I just couldn't, right? I just couldn't show up there. I couldn't be there. I wanted to, but I just couldn't because I was busy, right? Somebody even actually sent me a message and was like, "Are you coming?" And I'm like, "Today is my birthday. I'm kind of like doing stuff with my family. I wish I could, but yeah, no, I can't." So That was hard. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna bring Lady Luck up. Hey,
Hi, how are you all?
welcome to this platform. First of all, thank you for
Thank you.
coming up and let us know what you want to share.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I've been aloof for the last good week. Haven't even pushed out content like I wanted because I've been sick. Now my son's sick and trying to nurse him back to health. But um I think this is the one thing that being an outsider, as I'm always reminded of, want people to remember there are phenomenal um residents of Thornton and Dalton that have reached out to me, asking for help and asking for, um, some insight on certain situations or to, take a look at these documents or what have you, because there's a yearn, for some people to really want to learn. They want to do things differently. They do want to change the way they go about politics and get to know their candidates and all sorts of things. And there might be something my godmother always taught me: if it's not unethical or illegal or immoral, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get it done, especially if it's helping someone. Um, that is my reason for doing it, is helping. I am very crass. We all know that. I'm very direct and blunt. But when I do say something, I don't I don't say anything to go back and apologize for it because it was for a reason. Or it could have been for the situation where there just needed to be a stern take on things. I hope that those who are like me, that are, constantly, I mean, happy birthday to you, by the way.
Oh no,
It's a
thank you.
blessing.
It's my
My
birthday over,
father,
child. It's the next day. We good. Gifted hands.
oh,
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for saying happy birthday. Your sister,
yeah.
I know she a wonderful person, gifted hands, because 22 ain't no joke. Okay, we
Oh,
don't
yeah.
play no games. Okay. Um, so happy birthday to her as well.
Yep.
Um,
Happy birthday. It's a lot of birthdays coming up. Mine's is on the 31st.
is it?
My
Okay, come
dad,
on, Aries.
yep.
Come on, we good.
My dad was yesterday, but he's deceased. He passed away in 23. And yesterday was a bit hard. Just trying to celebrate and remember him, his life. He was a great father, just a fantastic man. And I never saw my dad get in trouble. I don't think I ever really heard him curse. So, just kind of going through that. You never know what people are going through as well.
Let me say this.
So,
So, because I live in Illinois, right? So you see me at the meetings
mhm,
physically and things like that, right?
yeah,
The one thing that I love about YouTube, right, is that, outsider or not, right, we
mhm,
all bring a different type of perspective to
right,
this
absolutely.
situation, right?
Yep,
We all have a different view. We all can bring a different type of clarity, right?
yeah,
Because people learn different, right? Some people are visual learners. Over here I put up a lot of receipts. I do a lot of visual things, right?
right,
I think over there people like you because you're a person who likes to talk things out, right?
yeah,
So you will get a paper and you will talk it out. You'll say, okay, let's talk about this. Well, I'm child, I don't understand that. That's you. You see what I'm saying? But some
yeah,
people receive that better, right?
right,
Than they
right,
do other things, right? So for
right,
me, as long as the word is getting out,
yeah,
I feel like we all have a place here. So I don't feel like outsider, just like Jason said, is not like a proper term, that people are
right,
using, but they're using it and that's fine. I feel like I'm not going to get into a back and forth with you about this outsider term. Listen or don't. Those are
right,
your choices.
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
those are your choices.
yep.
Listen or don't.
And
Um
I guess not to cut you off. I'm
no,
sorry
you're
if you're
fine. No, go ahead. I'm done.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got a couple comments like that yesterday, and I'm sitting here. I laughed at the comment, and I said, "Listen, I thought we were pet." It was on the day of the Thornton Township, and I was in whose chat was I in? Alicia Nicole's chat, and got a comment out the way about well, you're just an outsider. You don't live here. And I'm like, I thought we got past all of that. That's kind of my whole response to that. Like, are we still on this? Good grief, when we gonna get off this? But when I look at emails that are sent to me, when I say look at comments, and I'm receiving these blessings through super chat and super thanks and donations and all those things. When people are asking me to post up a wish list, this is what the LLC supporters and you all are wanting me to post up. It took a minute because I'm not used to that, but that's because people are truly grateful for the reporting. I hope that they can be pleased and that I'm making Dalton proud in the information that I'm giving. I'm not here to appease egos. I mean, super stupid what she is, and her goons are gonna follow her to the end of the earth. My content isn't for them because I know they're not listening, and I'm not trying to even induce a headache trying to get them to understand anything. So they'll learn the hard way. But when I get emails like I did today, how I could read it, but I'll read it in another live stream. But it was just beautiful. It was an email from one of the supporters whose husband is, having some health issues and things, but yet still he loves to sit back and watch my commentary just to hear me laugh. That brought tears to my eyes because that's the type of impact that I keep at the forefront when I'm doing my videos. So when people are saying, "Oh, well, you're not from here. You're not from here," I look at the impact that I've been blessed to have. Not that I'm holier than thou, that I have been blessed to have, where I can have someone that has physical ailments still sit around and laugh and didn't even know he was, that helps him feel better. And so it's almost you feel obligated because if it's something that's helping one person smile and get through the day, that brightens up my day. It really does. And I told them, I said, it's very encouraging. Um, it's very encouraging to know that even if I'm not from there, that so many more have embraced me. And yeah, at the end of the day, what's going on in Dalton is happening all over the world. It's happening all over the country, rather. And there are a lot of things happening in Dalton that has inspired me to do a lot more here in Atlanta. So I can say that the pros outweigh the cons. And if the worst somebody has to say is you don't even live in Dalton, yeah, okay. It's kind of is no, I don't. But I'm not gonna stop reporting because the emails that I get where people are saying, I have a spouse that is, having all these medical issues. When they hear you laughing, it kind of gives them a boost of energy or strength or something. And I've cried. I don't normally cry like that, but I cried. It
And
was a
you
blessing
know,
to see.
I just the other night, why you saying about receiving messages, right?
Hmm.
So I sometimes receive messages via Facebook Messenger, and people are like, "Oh, super producer, I admire you so much," and I'm thinking to myself, like, why? Right?
Hmm.
Because I'm like, listen, I don't feel like I'm doing anything greater than someone else, right?
Right,
I feel
right.
like I'm doing my basic duty as a human, with the abilities that God have blessed me with,
Yeah,
to educate people on topics that they want to be educated on, right?
right.
Because, you know, those that can't do, teach.
Yep.
So that's what I'm doing, right? Okay. And so I'm there. I
Yep.
said, "Oh," I said, "You don't need to admire me. I'm nobody." And they were like, "I'm nobody too. So we just gonna be two nobodies." And I said, "Okay then." Well, and then
Yeah,
we began to talk. And I want people, that's what I try to let people know, that being a content creator is very, very hard, right? Because you get
it
a
is.
lot of people that say negative things and it weighs you down. And you
Yeah.
feel like, I don't want to do this today. Right. So I can
Yep.
identify with you when you said I haven't pushed out any content because I just haven't felt like because those negative things that are said become heavy, right?
It
Because
does.
when your intentions are pure, right? And a
Yeah.
negative thought comes, you begin to think about that negative thought like, am I doing what I thought I was doing? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I have had to tell myself to stop internalizing those negative thoughts, right? Because when
Mhm.
people say negative things, it's really based out of the fact that they didn't do anything and you
Mhm.
decided to do something, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you had the courage to do something that they did not. So we gotta
Yeah.
stop internalizing those things. And it's hard, right? Just I'm
Yeah.
just being honest and real tonight, okay? It's hard. It's hard because I wanna, most of the times I'm like, no, people don't even hardly watch my videos. I really want to stop. I really want to stop. When you put that comment on one of my videos and you asked me, you said, SP, where is the video? And I said, told you where to find it. You said, I'm watching it now. And then you came back and you said, this video should have more
Could have
views.
more views.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
told you,
Yep.
right?
That
I
whole
said,
emoticon.
like,
You
child,
mimic the whole emoticon. You on point
right?
with that one.
Because I feel like I have been so consistent. I feel like I
Yeah.
have been so consistent through this fight, right? with my
I know.
information, with my information, with who I am, right?
Mhm.
I feel like I have not changed. I have not snapped on nobody. I have
Mhm.
not been ugly to anyone.
Mhm.
I have not called anybody out. I have just been consistent with putting out information.
Yeah.
That's what I've done, right? And so when you said that, I just felt like, okay, now she is feeling the weight of what I be feeling when I be feeling like I don't want to do this today, and I really maybe don't want to do this anymore. But
No, you
then
can't
I
stop.
get, but then I get those messages from people that say, "SP, I really admire you. No, please keep going." Right?
Mhm. Yep.
Which, that's the days when I have to take a few days off and be like, "Child, I need a break." I
Yeah.
need I need a break. And that's what I want
Yeah.
to tell you too. When you start feeling the weight, take a break
Mhm.
because you're doing the
Oh yeah.
right thing and you don't want to be weary in well doing, right? So,
Absolutely. Amen. That.
yeah, because then it turns into something else, right?
Yep.
It might come off a different way.
Mhm.
What we don't want to do is come off as fake or inconsiderate or, any of those things. Because I feel like myself and you and a few other content creators, we take what we are doing seriously. So we, research, we do things
Mhm.
to show that.
Mhm.
And so, for me, uh, I'd spent this last week, I haven't been as live as much or doing anything. One, I've been researching a lot of things. I had, a lot of information going forward that I'm going to have for
Mhm.
people to be able to refer back to so that they can, like you said, begin. Some people want to know how to do certain things, right? And look for certain things.
Mhm.
So I have been, I got several lives that I need to do next week because I was researching and I really was just avoiding.
Yeah.
coming live. I really
Kind
was.
of like
I really
stalling.
was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I'm just gonna stall until I feel mentally better, right?
Hmm.
Because
Yep.
I felt mentally at my breaking point.
Yeah.
Mentally, I felt like I don't think anybody is caring about what I'm putting out or what I'm saying. So maybe I just need to take a step back and see what I'm gonna do. Um, but when I took the things over to the firehouse today,
Yeah.
man, I could have been in tears today because
No.
the firefighters were so grateful. And the only thing they kept reiterating was that they hope the residents begin to come and visit them.
Yeah.
Right? Because these people are
Yeah.
doing like 36-hour shifts away from their families. So they're missing their children, they're missing their wives, their mothers, like their aunts, their uncles. You know, these are all people that they're missing when they're doing these like 36-hour shifts where they don't leave the firehouse, where they're
Right.
like getting up and going to fires and saving people's lives. So,
Right.
you know, having the games, they felt like, oh my God, maybe the residents will start coming by and visiting us, and they'll play checkers, or they'll stop and play Uno, or they can come and play Jenga, and they can just be able to, you know, have conversations like they do when they're at home because they're missing home,
Yeah.
and so,
Sure.
that for me was like, wow,
Yeah,
I
that might be your niche
yeah, I
in
feel
helping
like
take care.
I wanna keep going just so I can,
Yeah.
show people how community can just change things. It can
Yeah.
just understanding, beginning to understand people can change you, right? If you
Yeah.
let it.
Yeah.
And so, that is, today I was like, man, okay, I'm gonna stop stalling and do these lives. Um, I have lots of lives that I need to do because we are coming up. This is the last week leading into election. And
Hmm.
so we need to do that. And I asked, did you see the school board situation?
I haven't. I've seen bits of it. I know I posted up the video that you put up about the candidates. I saw a tidbit of what Dear What Christian did, but I think that was the extent of that because I've been working. I say I have a regular 9 to 5, so I've been working late hours and this weekend all day today. So um, yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to watch out a lot of stuff or even check out my emails like I wanted to.
Yeah. Okay. So that big meeting that they had when they gave that man that extra 40 whatever $1,000 and extended his contract. So I asked Dr. Randall
Hmm.
and to come on. She was the one that was like, I'm voting no. And she was like, she gave her reasons why. So I asked her to come on my platform. They are in election too.
Hmm.
And then the other lady that voted no, she contacted me,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, but are you coming on the
Right.
platform? Like, okay, it's good that you're having these meet and greets. It's good,
Okay.
but are you coming on the platform? Because
Right.
I'm not up here to give you free advertisement. Are you
Right.
coming on the platform? Because I want to ask them some questions about the process, not necessarily about what they did, because what they did is what they did and it's done. I feel like I'm like this with Trump. Whatever he's doing, he's done and it's done. What we need to do is figure out how we gonna deal with it. And so, for me,
Yep.
that's where I'm at. Just so, because my platform is an educational platform for the residents, I feel like I want to educate the residents on what their rights are and what they can do, right?
Yep. Yep.
And so, that's where I'm at. And I'm almost feeling like at this point, they need to do away with the whole school board thing and and figure something else out, right?
Yeah, I don't
Whether
understand how you get paid that much money.
right,
Superintendent. Good grief.
whether that school board then needs to become a conversation for what the trustees and the councilmen and the aldermen situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Mr. LC, to you, how you doing? Good
Hey.
morning. Good morning to you.
Yep.
And so that's, but I came in really for a check-in, just because I saw, some things that I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
People bullying other people to be a part of a debate. Okay, that person didn't show up and they're not a part of the debate. For me, I felt like the debate was rushed and put together, right?
Right.
You can't
Yeah.
just
Last
throw
minute.
out a date and be like, "Oh, we having a debate on this day," and show up. Like,
Yeah.
who do that? No, that's not professional. And we are in campaign season. What if they plan that day to do something else,
Right.
right? You
Exactly.
can't you can't then call them out and say, "Oh, you didn't show up on purpose." No, because my schedule didn't fit the day you wanted to do a debate. Now I'm not showing up on purpose. Now I don't want to talk to the residents. What if he was out or they was out talking to residents the day that you scheduled with this mess, whatever it is you did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just saying we need to just think about, how we're doing things, what we're saying, what graces we need to be given to people, because you're going to want the same grace in return at some point. So for me, I and then I saw people just not being good to each other, and I felt like, no, that's not right.
Yeah. it's
Yeah,
it's
we
so
need
much
to.
going on. I haven't even kept up with it all. I just tried my best this time around to stay neutral. I think my lesson learned in this was trying to help keep some semblance of peace, because I foresaw it becoming an uglier situation and then just getting to the point where it's out of control. And
I mean,
got
some things
hammered
are
hammered
gonna.
for that. So it's
What
like,
you know what? Some things are just gonna get ugly, and you got to use your discernment to know when to just let it be ugly, right?
yep,
Because some people are gonna have to look a
yep,
certain way for people to understand. Hey, don't vote for that person. Because
yep,
if this is how they react under pressure,
yeah,
you finna be in some real pressure when you get in this seat, right?
yep,
So
yep,
for me, I'm watching how people are reacting under this little bit of election pressure, right? Because I'm like,
yep.
well, if you can't take what somebody is saying under this little bit of pressure, what you gonna do when you get in this seat for the next 4 years? And there's gonna be a lot of pressure,
Mm, yep, yep.
So that was my take on it. That was I just wanted to check in with people and just get people to think and understanding what is the end goal? What are you really trying to do or get at with what you're saying?
Right.
Making somebody else look bad, is that making you necessarily look good?
Yeah. And then one of the things that no one is asking you to do, it's just insane. It's like almost giving fuel to that fire. Sometimes it'll just burn out if you ignore it. But it gets when it comes to specific situations, I guess depending on the person, it could have been a matter of, I know for me, I don't just get angry out the back. A lot of times I use like trolls, like target practice. But when it comes to a point where it's repetitive and it's coming from people who I will put a little bit more merit into them, and just kind of trust some of the things that they say, and they're the ones saying, "You're not from here," and da 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 da. And I'm like, well, I mean, do you really want change to come or not? I mean, this attention brought the embarrassment, on some stupid that it belongs on.
I think
So
that what people are losing sight of, if you want change, you don't get to dictate how it comes.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just how it comes.
yeah. Thank you. Hey, Foxy
Yeah.
Roxy. Thank you so much. And Wink and Wonder, I would say that firefighters have a higher rate of divorce. Why? Because this they find themselves working on their days off, even for the community, right? There's a volunteer situation, or there's, something going on in the community that they need representation for. And,
Hmm.
they're the one that's off. And so they're asking, can somebody go for a few hours? And, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And so that takes them away from their families on their off days.
Yeah.
Not to mention the days that they actually work, right?
Yeah.
Um, education. If they're trying to grow in the firefighter position that they in, and they end up having to go to a class or something, that's gonna take them away from their family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kenneth Dawkins, that's right. People have to learn how to decipher the BS.
Oh yeah.
They just do, because some
Yeah.
stuff just not worth you responding, right? Because
It's
currently
not.
I'm in a Tinley Park group
Hmm.
where this man has lost his mind. And I'm not going to keep responding to the ignorance. I'm just not.
Okay.
I said what I said, and you asked for receipts, and I posted it. Now, go on over there and talk to
Yep.
your friends. Don't come back over here with that nonsense you talking to me, right? And so
Yep.
currently, I'm in a battle with somebody with some nonsense. So, and I just stopped responding, because what you're saying,
It's
nothing,
yeah. Irrelevant.
nothing.
Yeah.
You're not saying anything about what I posted. Oh, okay. What you're trying to do is make it about something else, because what I posted was what I posted, and you wasn't ready for me to post it.
Oh
My,
man, them
and
people like that, they don't understand how what messages are. Like they're it's stuff like that that goes over their heads. They don't understand when what the hidden message is in that at all. They don't care. They just take
yes,
words they see, they get triggered, and then they go on a rampage. And then they end up being the same people they despise.
right. And then once you realize the person that you was defending wasn't
Mm-hmm.
as good as you thought they was, because
Mm-hmm.
I done posted a receipt. Yeah, then you
Yeah.
got to make it about something else, because you look foolish. Stop playing with me. And I know you watching this live, so stop playing with me before I start posting some more stuff. Stop playing with me.
Who in the live? Now I'm
I
just
know
being
they
nosy.
watch. I know that they're watching, because I just know. Stop playing with me, okay? Before I start posting some more stuff, because you look ignorant.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
that's
what they,
that's why
once
yeah.
people start realizing that the person that they was defending. Look at Michael Smith. That's the prime example.
Oh,
Dots.
oh my god. That dude.
Once look at how quiet he got. We
Yep,
don't
he
even see
lost.
him no more. He don't even be at the meetings making. He remember how you used to be at the podium every time public comment come. Here he come. Y'all gotta respect the seat,
Mm-hmm.
cause she in the seat. Well, we ain't seen him in a few weeks talk about this seat.
Exactly.
Few months now,
Exactly.
cause you look at crazy. Okay, so that's
He
why I
should have
feel
never
like,
been there anyway.
yeah, for me, when you sometimes people have to have like a come to Jesus moment. So his come to Jesus moment was the moment that he realized that he was trying to run for office, and all that mess he did.
Mm-hmm.
That was his come to Jesus moment. And then when people
Yep.
started reminding him of the stuff that he did.
Yep.
See, that's the Holy Spirit. When they bring back to your remembrance, girl, you wasn't right. You wasn't right when you did that. Yeah, that's what happened.
Yep.
So, and some people
Wow.
right can't survive without the chaos. Hey,
They
Joy.
can have all
Hey,
that.
how you
Oh
doing?
man.
Funny thing. Funny good says funny thinking other times I shaking my head at my kids when then we're little, but the catching myself doing that to adults isn't funny shaking my head. I know that's right, yeah. So true. Like these firefighters are dealing with a lot, you know. They're dealing
Yep.
with the trauma from these calls too, you know, and they got to
Yeah.
sleep through all of that stuff, and they're probably constantly rethinking things that they did, even if the things turned out okay, but something happened to someone. They're
Mm-hmm.
probably thinking, man, how could I have done that better so that no one ended up hurt, you
Right.
know? And so that's, a thing.
Yeah.
Lady Luck, you need to go to bed.
I know I'm exhausted. I took some meds and it just hit me like a ton of bricks
Well,
because my son and I both
Lady
have
Luck,
been sick.
Lady Luck, y'all give Lady Luck a hand clap. She ready to go to bed because she needs to get some rest.
Oh my God, I'm dog tired. I will be
Okay.
posting up some videos tomorrow, and I just wanted to give you a shout out ahead of time. Oh, I got a headache. About that lady, the video you mentioned earlier,
Oh, Cheryl
Cheryl
Scrants.
Scrantz.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, I found a lot of information on her,
Okay.
and I will be posting that video up tomorrow.
Okay. I love
And
this.
it is going to be epic. I think I'm gonna make my rounds around the FBI subpoena.
Okay.
Try to hit
Okay.
on every person that's listed on there to try to figure out who they are, and
Okay.
because I had never heard of it. And then just the ones that you do know about, just digging up a little of that background so that you guys can be more informed when you're making decisions.
I
That's
love
all.
this.
So,
I love this. I'm
um,
gonna try to pop in
yo, yeah, oh yeah,
if I can
yep,
and give my thumbs ups and say
yep.
my
I'm gonna
hayes and
set
go
it
on
for
mind my
premiere
business.
too.
Okay. Okay, good. I
Okay.
love that.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, honey. I
No,
appreciate
thank
your
you.
time.
Oh no, I thank you.
Okay.
See you later. I love Lady Luck. She is so special. I love her. Um, so you guys just be mindful, okay? And even let me say this. If y'all see somebody out there crashing out, stop them. Stop them. Say, you know what? I don't think this is productive. This is not productive. We are going in a better direction, right? So, we don't need to do this. We don't need to do this. We don't need to um we don't need to point out anybody else's flaws or anything of that nature, right? Because people are going to speak when they feel like they need to speak, right? um I'm just very disappointed in some of the things that I saw tonight. We have to start taking into consideration too people's actions and what people do when they get under pressure. This week is going to be very telling how people handle pressure, right? Because April 1st is coming so fast. And people are starting to do any and everything that they can to make maybe the other person look bad. And I'm still saying, does that make you look good because you making them look bad? Or you think you making them look bad? I don't know. I have questions about if you can't handle this little bit of pressure right now with this election and people saying things and people asking you questions and people, posting things, then what are you going to do when you get in this seat that has been so messed up, right? For the better part of 4 years. What are you going to do when you get in this seat and you have to explain to the residents what's happening? Are you going to start lashing out at the residents? Because you lashing out at them now and they just asking questions or they making comments. I, you know, I don't know. Hey, Common Sense, good morning. You'll have to rewind Common Sense to see what we talking about or what we had talked about, okay? What you do in public shows what you're capable of. And okay, I'm just saying. Hey, Common Sense. I'm just, I'm just saying. People are behaving like they are sleep deprived. Everyone needs some big kindergarten nap rolls and listen. I took me a nap before I came up here. I woke up out of my sleep because I was like, let me get on, because I couldn't rest really well, because I felt like, okay, maybe we need some clarity about, you know, some etiquette, right? We need some reminders about etiquette. And I know that I'm gonna get some comments on this video. I know that some people are gonna come out and say, "Who you think you are?" And it'll be some negative comments. It's gonna be some negative comments. But for the people that make negative comments, I'm gonna forgive you in advance, right? And I'm not gonna have time for you. Okay? The only thing I'm gonna do is give you a high five, a heart, and some praying hands, because I gotta be mindful of what I say. I know you're coming. I know. I know, good cannot exist without evil. I know. So I know you're coming. I know. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna give you your grace right now. What you confusion about, Kenneth Dawkins? I'm gonna give you your grace right now. So all the people that's gonna come up here and make negative comments on this video, the first question I wanna ask you is, so you had time to watch this video, right? And then make a negative comment. So you took the time to watch the video and then make a negative comment. I just want you to see how you lost all that time watching a video that you was going to make a negative comment on. I want you to see where your energy went, right? I want you to focus. Once you get to this part of the video, I want you to focus on what I'm saying. Okay? I want you to focus on the fact that you watched this whole entire video and made a negative comment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm from old school and I don't sleep. I'm doing my community service for the block. Okay, Joyce, me too. Kenneth, what happened? Okay, Kenneth, what I want you to do is I want you to ask me specific questions so that I can answer you and you won't be confusion. Okay? Bella Marie, no response is an answer. It's an answer. Okay? That finding good. I'm going to immortalize this comment right at this part so that they can, if they don't reflect on it and get it, this is what they should have got. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Winky Wonder, I have some t-shirts coming with I'm Confusion on it. Finishing them up. I have loads of things I'm doing. Y'all forgive me, okay? But yeah, so for all the people that's going to leave a negative comment, I want you to know that I forgive you, right? Thank you for your comment, but I won't be responding, okay? And I want you to think about that you watched the whole hour of this video and got to this point and made a negative comment. Okay. All right. Troy Hudson, good morning. How are you? I hope you're well. You want a t-shirt, Miss Foxy Woxy? When I get them out, I'm working on things for my store. I have 1,000 things I'm working on, I feel like. And I'm trying to focus myself, right? Because a creative person, their mind be everywhere. And so I'm trying to focus on what is most important and then doing them in order. So those, I'm working on that. Something I need to work on going forward, right? Because it's a new year. Yesterday was my birthday, so I need to. Yeah, I've been chastising myself a lot because I got a few things to work on myself. Okay. You want to place an order? Okay. My negative comment is, darn, my coffee cup is empty. Well, finding good, that's good. Don't refill it because I'm done. They can go on Tiffany Podcast with Joyce. I mean, it's so many places that you can place those negative comments, right? It is so many places you can place them. You can go to Kwame Raoul's page. You can go to Governor Pritzker's page. You can go to the Attorney General's page. You can go to the Inspector General's page. You can go to anybody page that's doing corruption. I can give you a list of some other names, and you can go over there and leave all kinds of negative comments. Okay? Yeah, you can do that. Was crashing, Cass stunting on Facebook. I don't know what Eveline was doing on Facebook. I saw her in the car, which was giving I live in my car. So I don't understand what is happening over there because I try not to watch her, right? I only go and try to see what's happening when I see a lot of posts about her, right? But for me, I have another video to post about her. I'm trying to wait until we get closer to voting so that, because it's, it's videos in the which way I do them, right? And I'm just trying not to give her too much airtime on my platform, right? Right. Because that's what we're not doing. You're welcome, Troy. Super producer, remember you give me hope. Oh, child. Thank you, Troy Hudson. Stealing her signs again, claim. Child, if she don't go file a police report, what the heck is she telling us for? What are we going to do about these stolen raggedy signs? The next time she posted, oh, I forgot, we can't make a comment. Well, this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to share share the story in Dalton Politics, because we all know she in there, and ask Eveline, what is her making a video and telling us gonna do? She need to drive her butt down to the police station and file a report. That's what she need to do. Because telling us ain't gonna get your signs back, because we don't care about your signs. Ooh, child. That lady gets under my skin so bad. Purpose and precise timing. There you go. That's God's plan for your life. Okay? They can go to the Republican page because they are a bunch of lying mouth conspiracy theorists. Child, I could tell y'all some stuff. Oh, Lord. I'm finna go to bed because I told y'all I got investigations I'm doing. Child. Hey, Miss Z, how you doing? Child. Okay. So y'all all right? Y'all let me know if y'all all right in these comments. And what we gonna do when we see somebody crashing out. We gonna ask them, are they all right? I want you to type in there, hello there. Are you all right? I want you to even put the asterisk, and I want you to tap on the screen and say, you all right? Because what you're typing, not making sense to me for somebody who's supposed to be contributing to this community. My goodness. She need to file a police report, because telling us ain't gonna do nothing. I'm dead, Troy. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Foxy Roxy. Okay, that's what I want y'all to start doing. I want y'all to say, hello there. Are you all right? Because No, that's not how you should be acting. Okay. All right. Tomorrow is the day of rest. Supposedly, allegedly. Okay. What I want you to do is enjoy your family. Okay, because listen, we not here for a long time. We here for a good time. Should be loving time. Okay, lots of things going on in this world. You know, the most important thing you should be doing is spending time with your loved ones, right? And doing things to put positive motion into this world. Because right now, we need all of that. Boy, I know one thing. This unemployment rate is sky high right now. I'm looking for people to have more mental health episodes in these next coming weeks and months, the way that people are getting laid off, the way that companies are closing and downsizing. Okay? We need to make sure that we are mentally checking in on each other, taking care of each other, watching out for each other, right? I think so. Joyce, I believe this. Okay. Thank you for all 98 people. Or, you know, at one point we had like 100 people, 109 people on here. Thank you guys for staying up so late and just listening to me check in. You could be anywhere, right? You don't have to be here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for like, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. We got some work to do. I may come on tomorrow night with a few things. I'm gonna start working on some stuff. I'm gonna stop avoiding y'all and get back to work because I got lots of work to do. Been staying with my field. He's really on his life. We should all do that. Yeah, me too. They can go on conscious space. She have a whole lot of negative. I don't even watch that person, but yeah. The few things I've seen. Exactly. Yes, y'all have a good night. Love on your family. Be good to each other. If you can't be good, be quiet. Be quiet. Okay? Okay? We don't need all this chaos drama every time we get out the house or get somewhere. Don't run yourself into the ground, Pizzo. Dave Bryson, I will try not to. Okay? Hey, Miss Joyce. Yes, you are, and I love that. All right. I'm going to see you guys probably tomorrow night. I'm going to get myself together so that I can get on and we can discuss a few things tomorrow night. Okay? Listen, Super Producer wishes nothing but blessings for your life. Okay? I'm going to keep doing these check-ins in between all of the stuff that we're learning. Okay? I'm going to keep doing them. I'm going to keep asking y'all questions. All right? Whew. See y'all tomorrow.
We need personal space, little girl, not today. We need personal space. Just drop out the race. We need personal space. Just watch what you say. We need personal space. Just drop the race. We need personal space. Just watch what you say. We need personal space. Won't you just go away? We need personal space, little girl, not today.
Oh, I ain't want nothing, man. Just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, I ain't want nothing, man. Just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, I ain't want nothing, man. Just wanted to tell you I love you.